Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 19 of our gratitude practice. How are you doing today? I know that there's a lot of energy out there, and there is a lot of different emotions circulating. For some people, there's still a lot of stress and anxiety. For some people, they're settling into a new normal, a new routine. Others are tapping into higher vibrational frequencies because there's a lot out there right now. I just want to remind you that it's your choice to determine how you feel. It is your choice to determine how you act. Every decision that you make in every moment is a choice to who you are in the present, who you are in the future. And I encourage you to make choices that are good for you, choices that bring you happiness. If you have, an idea of what that is that will make you happy in that moment, go with that choice. It's important that you nourish yourself with what you think you need at that moment so you can cultivate the happiness. Happiness is a choice. You can be at a party and everybody's having a great time and there's nothing wrong with the party and you are not happy there. That's not about the party. It's not about the environment. It's about something that's going on inside of you. It's about the decisions you're making or how you're feeling, and maybe there's something unresolved or, whatever it is. But in that moment, if you wanted to, you could choose to be happy and enjoy yourself at the party, or you could choose to be miserable and stay and, bring the energy down. And these are just choices that are at our disposal. And I just want to remind you that you are in charge of you. We cannot change anything around us. We can't change our environment. We can't change what's going on in the world to the degree that we would like to. But what we can do is change our reaction to them. So I encourage you to cultivate gratitude as a way to bring happiness to your life and change that narrative in your head so that you're able to feel better about a situation. Gratitude is the quickest way to turn a negative situation into a positive one. Anytime you have those feelings, any negative feelings about a situation or a person, anytime I start thinking about, if I find myself in a vortex spiraling down, having negative thoughts about somebody, maybe it's something from my past or maybe it's something in my current present environment. And what I'll do is I'll notice those thoughts. I'll take a step back from them. I'll try to see what the triggers were, why they manifested the way they did. But then I'll make sure to flip that script immediately and find things to be grateful for. Find reasons to be grateful for that person or for that situation or for my life in that moment. Even in the most trying of situations, even in the most taxing of environments, there's always something to be grateful for. It can be as simple as being grateful for being alive, being grateful for your breath, being grateful to be able to see, to smell, to feel, being grateful that you can make a choice to be grateful. There are many things that we can find and cultivate gratitude for. So I encourage you to do that. One thing that I want to talk about before we get into our practice for today is to talk about this power of collective consciousness. This idea of we have individual choices. We have our own free will, and we can, live our life in the way that we want to within reason, right? Because we act as a society, as a tribal nation, as members of something bigger than us. And I've talked about the fact that our energetic bodies are bigger than our physical bodies. Our physical bodies are a manifestation of a larger energy that we emit, that we are part of. So you can imagine if that, we have the ability to manifest the reality that we want with our thoughts, that there is that potential when we tap into those vibrations and we believe in the power that we have to attract that goodness into our life with gratitude and with positive vibrations. You can imagine what happens at a global scale if we have a collective consciousness. There is something in our consciousness today that allows for the things that are happening in the world. We complain about them. we dislike them. But then how many of us actively do things about them? And the way we actively do things about them is by doing that internal healing, shifting ourselves, deprogramming ourselves, getting out of that matrix that is a system of, coded beliefs that we do not have to believe. It is a lot like the movie The Matrix. We can tap out of that. And we can use this collective power. If there is a collective consciousness that can oppress us and program us into believing that we are not as powerful as we are, or believing that we have no control over our reality, or believing that things have to be the way they are because that's just the way they are, then you can imagine what happens if we can shift our consciousness to believing that we can have the world that we desire, that we can be peaceful, earth-loving creatures that are in sync with nature, that are, striving to be better and have a better way of life. We can start to make that happen through collective consciousness. So I encourage you, tomorrow, Saturday, April 4th, there is a global meditation happening. It's at 7:45 p.m. Pacific time, 10:45 p.m. Eastern time. And it is going to be a time where we have the ability to harness this magic of collective energy, because we'll all be meditating at the same time. And it will help to transform this world, shift it from where we are into where we want to be. So I encourage you, for those of you that know about this, please, do what you need to prepare for that. For those that are new, this is new to you, send me a message. I can send you some links that are talking about this. But most importantly, just try to find a quiet space and tune into yourself. Tune into yourself and feel into that energy, and allow that energy to fill you, and put your good vibrations into the world. Put them out there and dream the world that you think that we can have. One where we share, one where we're collaborative, one where there's no competition, one where we do not create situations of insufficiency during times of sufficiency. This is where we're having problems with scarcity and this idea of lack, that our grocery stores can be full and we are a sufficient environment to feed everyone. We have more than enough. We have so much food wastage, and yet we have shortages. That is creating an insufficiency during a period of sufficiency, and that comes from a scarcity mindset. We can tap out of that. So I encourage you to sit tomorrow and take some time to meditate during this time and envision this new world. This is another time to be grateful. It's another time to cultivate that gratitude, to know that you are not alone and there are so many light workers out there. You are a light worker. If you're listening to this video, if you've been trying to cultivate gratitude, you are a light worker. So I encourage you to tap into that collective power and have gratitude for it. So today's practice is 100 magical steps. Sometimes just repeating that word, thank you, thank you, thank you, 100 times can shift the way you think. There's stories that Einstein used to really do this practice in his own way, and was grateful for all the predecessors, all the people who had made his work possible. He was a genius, but he didn't do this alone. And so he recognized that, and he had so much gratitude in his life. He was a very pure soul, and he's somebody who really taught us this power of our own individual magic, and that we can be grateful and humble and wise. So let's tap into these practices that he did. Let's cultivate that gratitude by repeatedly saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And we do this by taking 100 steps. It's great to walk, so why not do it? You can pace around your house. You can take a walk around the block. It's great to get outside. Keep a safe distance from everybody, but enjoy nature. Talk to a tree. Look at the animals. Look at the grass. Look at the beautiful flowers that are blooming in spring, depending on where you are. But there's so much that can be done. Even if it's cold, feel that cold, brisk air. You know, it's so different from the air inside. Take 100 steps, and with each step, say, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's no need to count the steps. It takes on average about, 1.5 to 2 minutes to take 100 steps if you're walking at a regular pace. So, just take your time. Be thoughtful of the steps that you're taking as you say thank you. Look around at the world around you and say thank you. Feel your feet on the ground and say thank you. Feel your legs carrying you and say thank you. Look at your house and say thank you. Look at, whatever is around you and just be grateful. Look at how you feel before you begin this practice and observe how you feel afterwards, and you'll notice that there's a shift. The more that we can do this every day, the better you will be able to improve that vibrational energy in your life, in yourself, and you'll be able to find that happiness for yourself. So, I encourage you still to keep the practice of every morning making a list of 10 things that you're grateful for. Start your day with that gratitude. There are 10 things you can be grateful for. It can be as simple as being able to wake up and sit and just be thankful. Just find those 10 things and write them down so that you can start that day with that energy. And at nighttime, go to bed. Say thank you for the one thing that made you so happy in that day. And you will end your day with that gratitude and enter into dreamland that way. Continue to cultivate this gratitude in every way that you can, because it will transform you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.